Hello everybody, my name is Ambar Ramirez and this is Raising the Bar, where we're going to be highlighting local chefs, restaurants, bars, and bartenders. Today we are here with a Lynch's Irish pub bartender, Brogan Kestle, who also won our Best Local Bartender for our Best of Jack's 2022 contest. So, how are you doing today, Brogan?
I'm great. Still kind of recovering from Paddy's Day weekend, but you know.
Yeah, I can imagine that was very hectic, especially at Lynch's. Like, the line was wrapped around the building.
Yeah, but it's a great time. It's an absolute great time.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome. So we're just going to jump right into the questions. I just want to know a little bit about you. Where are you from? Are you from Jacksonville?
So I was not born in Jacksonville. I was born in Chesapeake, Virginia, but I have been raised here pretty much my whole life, so 20-something years. I went to Sandalwood, so go Saints. But of course I live at the beaches, so it's a little funny, you know, when I tell people that. But yeah, I've been working in the service industry since I was 18, so it's been 11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Not compared to a lot of other people, but definitely a while.
No, and it seems to be going really well for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. I've been super blessed with the people that I've met, between bar guests, managers, co-workers. I mean, I've just been super blessed with everything that I've had.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did you get into bartending?
I don't really remember. I think it was more of just, I was really intrigued with the whole, just, I guess, chemistry aspect of it and the mixology side of it. And so I've just always been super into wine and beer, and then the older I got, the more it evolved into, you know, actual cocktails.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. I started serving when I was like 19, and I was like, I think I want to be a bartender. Like, they make a lot of money over there.
Right.
So, but I worked at like a restaurant, so it wasn't like a bar.
Right.
I never made it that far though. I started serving and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. So then on that, what type of personality do you think succeeds as a bartender?
I think somebody who is knowledgeable in their product. Somebody who can be a little tough when it comes time to, you know, having to cut somebody off, which is very unfortunate, but it happens all the time. But somebody who can also be understanding and kind and receptive of the guests. Because, I mean, they still are people. We're people, you know. There has to be a common ground of understanding whether they're intoxicated or not. So,
right,
you know, just somebody who,
putting yourself in their shoes.
Yeah,
and thinking like,
absolutely.
If I was them, I wouldn't want to be like attacked or something, taken out.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so just somebody who's genuine and still kind when you can handle, you know, a lot of business going on.
Yeah, definitely. And who or where did you learn how to bartend?
Let's see. Okay, so when I was 18, I did one of the bartending classes so that I could get a certification, mostly because, you know, I was under the age of 21, so I could legally be able to go behind the bar. But where I learned, I think, most of my bartending was actually my first real serving job, which was at Joe's Crab Shack.
Oh.
And I am not ashamed to own that because I've learned so much just from there, between, you know, speed of service and friendliness to guests and remembering orders. And on top of that, you know, just learning tiki drinks. If it's not 20 steps, then what are you doing? Right. So it's just a lot.
Definitely. How is the difference between serving at a restaurant like that, where you have these like special cocktail menus, to like working at Lynch's? And I know you worked at Surfer as well, where it's like nightlife, almost like a club kind of vibe to it.
I would say the real difference is in between the amount of food that you're serving. On top of that, you're going to be trying to guide people through our drink menu and figure out more of what they're going to like and dislike at a restaurant versus, I feel like, at just a normal bar, people kind of already have an idea of what they want. And if they don't, it doesn't take much to steer them in a different direction.
Yeah, it's really simple. My go-to is a Moscow Mule, for anybody wondering. That's just the first thing that comes to mind. And it's, you know, I've learned to steer away from like really sweet and sugary drinks when I'm out of bars, because the next day I'm not going to be happy with myself.
Right. I think that's a common consensus.
Yeah. And then being that bars can get so busy, how have you learned to handle the overwhelming crowds?
A lot of practice.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's no real recipe for it. I think it's just a lot of practice and learning a lot of patience, and getting really good at multitasking. Yeah.
Which women are so good at. Have you seen a woman carry all her things, like,
honestly,
or like this, while also like talking on the phone with their shoulder? Like, we can do it all.
Right.
And what is the most challenging part about being a bartender?
I would say probably dealing with the disorderly people. That's probably got to be the toughest. Yeah, but I mean, still, end of the day, like, we don't have a problem putting up with it because we want to make sure everybody gets home safe, you know.
Have you ever had an instance where you had to like kick somebody out or like grab their car keys for like make sure they're not driving home?
Friends, car keys, yes. Bar guests, I wouldn't take their car keys unless it was somebody I really knew and was like close with, but even then it's still kind of dicey. But I mean, unfortunately it does happen quite often where people just, they're not wanting to accept taking a water or taking a beat for, you know, half an hour or something, you know, and a lot of times it unfortunately gets to the point where they are getting kicked out. So, yeah.
It happens. That's very unfortunate. And then what is the most rewarding part about being a bartender?
The camaraderie between meeting the bar guests and your coworkers. We have so much fun. There's so much banter and just jokes. I mean, our general manager, he's a prankster. So, I mean, yeah, it's so much fun.
What's a prank that he's done recently that you could share with us?
He likes to put notes on our backs. When you don't realize
very classic,
it. Yeah.
Very classic schoolboy pranks.
Yeah, so you'll be walking up and down the bar for about an hour not knowing you have a sticker on your back.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so funny. And then do you have a favorite and a least favorite drink to make?
Ooh, okay, so my favorite drink to make is probably an old-fashioned. Okay. Super classic, easy to make, only about 3 ingredients, and you kind of can't go wrong with it. My least favorite... We're going to say anything frozen.
Yeah, I can imagine. At Lynch's, they don't even have, like, a blender.
No, thank goodness. Yeah. Thank goodness. No, we have a couple of frozen machines, and that's about it. But, yeah, no, not the blender.
Staying away from the blender. And it's loud. Like, you don't want that.
Right.
What's the strangest thing you've ever seen happen in a bar?
Oh, gosh. A lot. I honestly don't even know if I could pinpoint. I mean, between watching people make out with other people and then make out with somebody else later on in the night, and then just like the weird things that girls will do in the bathroom. I mean, I honestly couldn't pinpoint. There have been some very strange things.
Yeah. You just get to tally mark all the people that this one person's kissing. Like,
yeah, basically.
She kissed that person. That's so good. And have you ever had a like really ridiculous request of a drink to be made? Surprisingly, no. Because at this point, you just kind of expect the unexpected, like anything goes. I mean, we actually had somebody on Patty's Day who, from one of our servers, ordered a Jameson margarita. And I told my coworker, I was like, you're a better person than me because I wouldn't make that. I would feel so bad about it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we expect weird things, so. Yeah, it's like, that's what they asked for, that's what they're gonna get. Right, exactly. Hopefully they'll drink it. Oh my God, actually, speaking of, one time I ordered a martini, like for the first time. I was in New York, I ordered a dirty martini. I didn't think it was gonna be that strong, and it was like filled to the rim. I was like, how do people drink this? I didn't taste the olive juice or anything. Like, it was insane. But I ordered like a Coca-Cola, and I was like, I'm gonna do my best to finish this. Right. What's the best way to get a bartender's attention on a busy night? This is for the people. Oh, gosh. Here we go. Okay. I know. I was like, it's a very short list compared to the list of things you should not be doing. But being polite, making eye contact, and
patiently waiting, we always notice. You know, it might seem like we might not notice, but we see who comes up to the bar. It just takes a second of just a little bit of patience.
Yeah, definitely.
Tipping us decently helps too, because I mean, I know there have been people that have tipped me really, really well, and I'll see them 3 people back, and I'm taking their order before I take these other people's orders.
Yeah, because you know you're gonna make a good tip on that.
Right, exactly. But don't let money like be the deciding factor. Just being polite goes a long way.
Definitely, yeah. There's been times where I'm like waiting, and you see them like going around and around, and it's like, I'm right here.
Right.
But I'm just like smiling at them, like staring into their soul, and then eventually they'll come to me.
Right.
And what do you like to do for fun aside from bartending?
For fun, I like to hang out with my dog. I like to hang out outside. I try to go and take a bunch of walks. I haven't been on the beach recently. It's been a little too chilly. But my dog and I have been going a lot of walks recently because the weather's just been so nice. And then I try and hang out with my friends as much as I can. Yeah. But a lot of times that also involves going to a bar. So.
Yeah, that's definitely like, I don't want to go to work, but where else do people go to hang out?
Right, right.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's a little pit mix. Yeah, Brindle.
So cute.
Yeah.
Brindle.
Yeah.
Brogan and Brindle. That's too cute. And then there are 3 types of bartending styles. I found this on the internet. There's the showman style. That's all about putting on a performance when they're making their drinks. There's the technician style. That's all about precision. And then there's the mixologist style. That's all about flavor. So sometimes they'll like experiment. What kind of bartending style do you think you would fall under?
I think I would fall somewhere in between the technician and the mixologist. I'm not super big into flair. I tried it once upon a time when I was younger, and I decided I'm going to leave it to the boys. They're way better at it. Yeah. So I'll just make better drinks than them.
Period. That's all that matters. It really is about the flavor. Nice. And then do you see yourself being a lifelong bartender, or do you have other plans for your future?
You know, that's actually really funny because it's a question that I've been battling with for the last couple of years. Right now, I think bartending is a great option for me, and if I could actually do it forever and it was just a way more viable career, yes. But in the long run, I'm not 100% sure. I'm at this point where I'm going to try and start working on my master's degree.
Ooh.
Yeah. But again, that also costs money, and it's really good money, bartending, and we've already made connections, you know, so.
You've got to pay for things somehow.
Right.
What would you master's in?
Psychology.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And that would work in your favor with bartending. You can like kind of read people's minds a little bit. Body language.
Yeah, nice. Already in a borderline position of therapy, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, hopefully people don't take it too harsh, like too seriously as therapy. Right. Drinking isn't going to solve all your problems, but it definitely helps. Liquid courage.
Right.
And that about wraps it up. If you are ever out and about at the beach bars, make sure you check out Lynch's and say hello to Brogan. Grab a drink, and thank you guys so much for watching. Woo! Okay.